Hey everyone, Chris Mack coming at you today with a milestone comic in Marvel history. This is Marvel Superheroes Secret War number 8 of 12 from December of 1984. And to sound kind of cliche, this book was an absolute banger. The action, of course, the storytelling and the art. Oh, absolutely amazing. But before we dive into all of that with Invasion, this is Jim Shooter, writer. Mike Zeck doing the penciling, John Beatty and Jack Abel, and Mike Esposito doing the inks, Joe Rosenletter, Christy Shield was the colorist, and Tom DeFalco was the editor. So we have an all-star cast. And there are three factions. There's Doctor Doom leading the villains. There's the X-Men. There's Captain America. And then there's another team. Hold on a second. Let's see. Against them stands the superheroes commanded by Captain America, the X-Men, and Magneto forming a third force. Okay, well, there you go. So everyone's ready to attack Doom's fortress. Grim visaged, 11 heroic figures hurtle toward the stronghold of their enemy, seeking to avenge the death of one of their own and perhaps save the life of another. So some backstory, spoilers if you've never read Secret Wars. At this point, they assume Wasp dead. And so they are ready to just raise hell. And at the heart of this all, why they're at Battle World, Galactus is looming in the distance. And just look at this traditional drawing the Marvel way. God, I miss when comic books looked like this. They're just beautiful. Knowing that this was all done with traditional means rather than any type of computer, well, CGI, not CGI. You know what I'm saying, digital coloring. And you can just see the care that was taken into showing the anatomy. And then I love how the Enchantress, she has the hots for Thor. And she's like, well, what's that hammer of Thor? Oh no, this war is not working out very well. Innkeeper, fetch me another flagon of mead. No one. I shall have to conjure my own mead or an innkeeper. It's just kind of funny to see that she's having a vulnerable moment. And you can see that and what she's saying is that she has this thing for Thor. And she says that I would have come to your side or that you would hopefully come to mine. So she has this sort of duality about her as she's just sort of drowning her sorrows. And as she falls, she goes, behold the mighty Enchantress. Now, while this is happening, the Molecule Man has been injured, and Volcana is apparently his love. She goes, I won't leave you alone. I won't let anyone hurt you anymore. Any of them dare to come in here, I'll kill them, especially that Wolverine guy who cut you. He'll get his baby. Don't worry. Now, while all this is going on, some of the characters are acting really weird. Like, I've never seen Kang act like this. In the fortress, this huge dungeon where the savage, uncontrollable lizard has been imprisoned. Who frees me? What sort of creature is it? What is its name? Speak. Why, I'm Claw, the master of sound. I can stand for some reason to be trapped. No, you see, I was trapped in a ship's hull not long ago. It drove me mad. Mad. Also, I love the way you talk. You're thinking, what the hell has happened to Claw? It's just very random. Now, in all this, when they said they're going to save another, they've got She-Hulk on the ropes, and they are just clobbering Jennifer left and right. And you're just thinking, damn, is she going to survive this? And the dynamicness of these panels as Hulk just smashes through. And at this point, it is just an all-out battle. And you can see how threatening each character is as Enchantress is able to take down Hulk. Don't force me to hit you. I mean, I don't want to. Look at me, magnificent one. Am I not at once every woman you have desired? Stare into my eyes. Love me. Love me. Mortal cretin. So you can see how she's sort of scorned at not being able to have neither Captain America or Thor. And he's just, okay. And I love how Cap just is not having it. She goes, oh, you would not strike me. Wham. Well, if there were any other choice, and just full on shield to the face with Captain looming over because he knows what's at stake here. And then the shining part of this book is Spider-Man fighting this character. I cannot remember her name off the top of my head. Titania, I believe is her name. And she wants to just destroy Spider-Man. And he's just quipping. And here I thought you were some sort of common ruffian. I used to be the shrimp. I used to be the scrawny one who got her face rubbed in the dirt. Now I'm powerful and it's my turn. You got some hostility built up there, don't you, huh? Everybody better look out for me and I'll crush anybody who gets in my way, especially miserable little wimps like you. And then we have another kind of subplot going on where the Thing has lost his powers and him and, what's his name? Hawkeye have to take on the Lizard. So even though like there's modern books where you read events and like everybody feels like they're just background characters, everyone's just sort of standing around or nothing really going on. But while all these different plots are happening, you can see why we care. You see that Ms. Marvel gets a hold of Owen, and Volcana's just ready to rip her head off. It's like, no, stop it. We're pulling out. Pull your what's the name? Sorry, I've not had enough coffee today. She goes, no, stop it. You're pulling his wounds open. Wounds? Look what you've done. He fainted. Oh, my poor baby. Stop it. Stop hurting him. I surrender, please. He's wounded. Gee, I'm sorry. So you can see that the heroes care, even though that they want to stop this threat. And this Titania girl, she put Spider-Man through his paces. Same with the Human Torch. Like everybody is having to throw everything that they can in the kitchen sink to defeat these villains. And now what I like is this kind of MacGuffin where they all go to attack Doctor Doom because it's Fort Doom, right? Well, we come to find out that he's been beaten. He's given all of his energy and he's essentially shell-shocked. And while that's happening, there's another moment of madness. Like, what the hell's going on? We see Ben Grimm and Claw playing patty cake. Disturb our games and the Lizard will destroy you. Once we finish, we will do as you say. So yeah, there's some moments where you're just kind of wondering, what the hell is going on? But at the same time, I like that it at least gives a little bit of levity to all this action and destruction going on in this issue that keeps things going. Now there's a revelation at the end that I don't want to give away. But suffice it to say, we have Galactus looming on the horizon for the next issue. And then here, I will spoil this part. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled, pause this video and try to go get a reprint, or if you have the ducats, grab this OG copy. But everyone's kind of recouping after the battle. And Spidey says, hey, Thor, your cape's back and your hat. But how? Unless you got a haberdasher who makes fortress calls. And this always kind of threw me off back in the day because we're always so used to Hulk grunting and burping, and yet he talks here. So if you can kind of help me out, that I've always been a little confused on when he can talk and when he can't talk. But Hulk here says, it's in there, Spider-Man. You just think it, and it produces any sort of cloth or clothing you want. Great. New threads without stabbing my thumb with a needle. Thanks. So he goes into this room. Must be this. It looks like it wants to make me a costume. Guess I just concentrate. Bloop. What the heck is that? And why is my spider sense tingling? Maybe I get rid of, hey, it's going up my arm. What is this stuff? And then history is born. Well, I'll be an 8-ball. That glob just spread out and became a costume and dissolved away the tats of my old one in the process. Not bad. Different, but not bad. I wonder why it didn't come out like my old costume. What was I thinking of? And so at this point, if y'all can remind me, who was the Spider-Woman that wore kind of the symbiote look before this? They're saying, I was probably thinking of the new Spider-Woman. I hope she doesn't mind me copying her. And so there it is, Secret Wars 8, the first appearance of the Venom Symbiote. As you can see, a lot of care put into this book back in the day, because back in the day, I know I say back in the day a lot, but people actually cared. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of modern books that have some great artwork in it, but it just never compares to all the tricks of traditional inking, lettering, especially for like characters that would be in all black or have black hair, how they'd always just give it that blue hue. And they even did that in Batman the Animated Series, where you see Bruce with his black hair, and they'd always kind of give it that blue to show that his hair has waves to it. And I miss these old traditional ways. You can just see the human element in these books. So amid the chaos, there comes a costume. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you've enjoyed what you have seen, please first and foremost go support your local comic shop and either grab this book or a reprint or however you can get a copy of Secret Wars 8. Highly recommend it for any hardcore comic book fan, or if you're a Spider-Man fan altogether. If you've enjoyed this review, I really would appreciate taking a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you mind hitting that fancy little symbiote bell next, subscribe. That way, as I continue to upload content, you get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.